Welcome, this is Laurie of Laurie's Heirloom Sewing. I wanted to talk about the pockets. Now that I've done all of the applique stitching, I wanted to show you how to get your pockets pressed for stitching. So let me move you guys over here. I'm still having some issues with my camera, you know how I am. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so this is the pocket piece that came with our pattern, which I failed to mention earlier. It is McCall's 2947, and this is the pattern right here. I think, let's see if I can fix this. We're kind of zoomed in. Okay, there. So it's McCall's Fashion Accessories, number 2947. It has, I believe, 8 versions. We're doing version E right here. Okay, right, with a pocket and bib applique. Alrighty, so now, the appliques have been applied to all 4 pockets. It's 2 different aprons, so all 4 pockets and both apron bibs. And then we are supposed to fold the pocket in and press for to create the actual pattern. There, I got that camera thing turned around. Okay. All right, so what I do is I look at this, I kind of line up the actual fabric with the pattern piece. And let's see if we can see right here, there is a curve. I'm gonna try to zoom a little bit. Okay, so I can move you. Let's try that. All these little issues I keep having. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's better. So what we have to do is create like a little curve to press our pocket pieces in. So what I do is I go ahead and start on the side. And if you need to measure that, go right ahead and measure. You can even draw. If you've got heat erasable pens, just remember that will disappear when you press. So, but to see that in action, you can just take right up underneath the pattern and draw, some lines following the press line there. Okay. And then so you've got that, or you could use a ruler, however you want to do it. And I just do the sides first. I feel like that creates a neater top fold, which we'll get to in just a moment. Okay. And then I'm going to press that down. Now I will tell you that prior to this, I did use some spray starch. I want nice crisp, folded in lines. Okay, now because this is a pocket, this will be stitched down. And if you wanted to, you could fold under. I think I'll just move this over here so that we're a little bit more aligned with each other. Okay. You could go ahead and fold under so that you don't have a raw edge. Unfortunately, I don't like that because it's going to make the pocket thick along this edge next to the apron body. So when I stitch this down, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch as close to this fold line as I can. Okay, now to get the little rounded corners here, take your pattern piece and draw out those lines with chalk, or I mean, this is on the inside, on the wrong side of your fabric, right? So you're not going to see these marks. And if you wanted to use a pencil or even just a pen that won't erase, it's not going to show up unless you're using white fabric. And then in that case, I would just use a washable chalk or washable fabric pen. And then just kind of curve in that little corner down there and hit it with some heat, and then do the same thing. And I am going to be reversing these. It's just I want that curve, you know, folded in first. I just find it a little bit easier to do this way. Another way to get a really pretty curve is to stitch just with a big basting stitch, tie a knot on one end, and then kind of pull it. And if I were doing a dress, that's how I would do it. But I'm doing an apron, and I'm not going to be that picky. I want to enjoy sewing it rather than pulling my hair out and screaming uncontrollably. No, sewing doesn't do that to me. Okay, so now I'm lining up the bottom to see if I've got a big enough curve. And I'm on my stitch line a little bit. I need to move this one over just a little bit. That's why I like having pattern pieces. I mean, I know a lot of people would just rip, for an apron, you know, just rip a rectangle, draw out pockets on the front, you know, make a pocket, kind of a square pocket, throw on a waistband, and then boom, you're done. But I like having a pattern piece. Okay, now for the top, I am going to fold this over twice. This does not get stitched to the body of the apron. Obviously, you're just going to be stitching do-do-do-do-do. But this part right here, if you're actually using these pockets, you're going to have a lot of fraying at the top. So I'm going to fold under a little bit across the top. And then I'm going to check to see exactly how much I need to fold under for the proper hemline here by, again, using my pattern as my guide. This is going to be down here. So there's quite a bit. That's about an inch. And I'll just fold that down and press. And because I pre-starched my fabric, all of them, prior to pressing, they're pretty much holding their shape. I did not want to have to create a pocket and then get up and press and iron and get the next pocket ready and blah, blah, blah. I want them all ready so that I can kind of do assembly line. Okay, and I'm right on that line. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got the bottom edge of my pocket is on the stitching line, and then the hem is right across the top there. So this pocket is pretty much done. I can just set it aside and go on and do the next pocket. But we want to talk, before we do that, we want to talk about the bib. And for that, I'll need to read, and I have not starched these yet. So in our instructions, and we're still on page, well, we're going to move over to page 2 now. Okay. We're going to skip all of this, and now we're back to our skirt view E, which it has not had us do anything to the bib yet other than attach the applique. So it wants us to go ahead and start creating the skirt. I don't know if you recall, but I did elect to eliminate the back. There is a piece for apron skirt back. And I just feel like with a flannel, which is what I've cut the skirt out of, that would be far too heavy. It would just be too much bulk. So I'm only going to be using the front section of the pattern. It is quite large, and it will be full enough. We just don't need a massive amount of heavy flannel fabric for an adult apron. I don't think that would look appropriate. So instead of this super full gathering, I will need to adjust what that gathering looks like. And it won't be as full, but it'll still look full because of the flannel fabric. But if you are making this pattern and you're using, even if you're using flannel, if you've elected to use the 2 back pieces on that skirt, then you will attach those. That's piece number 5. You will attach those to piece number 4. But that follows attaching the pockets. So I will go ahead, finish getting the pockets pressed, and then we'll flip over here, and this is where we start working on the bib. And this is our bib right here. So as you can see, it has us attach the applique, and then we're going to fold the applique. We're going to stitch the bib, which is self-lined. So this is what the pattern piece looks like. And then you fold it. This is the top edge of the bib. And then this, of course, is the side and the bottom that attaches to the waistband. So we'll work on those probably the next time. And at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and get all the pockets pressed and ready, and then we'll attach them to the skirt, and then we'll start working on the skirt. Now, we are also not going to be attaching lace. View B has lace, and view C or D have a ruffle that you attach to the lower hem, but we don't do that. Ours is just simply hemmed across the bottom. Obviously, you could take view E bib and attach it to view D skirt and have the bib and the skirt of 2 different, views on here. No problem. But we're going to follow it as it is in the pattern. So anyway, that is our next step, and I will just go ahead, get the pockets ready. I will show you how to attach those in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, you can drop a comment down below. You can find me at Laurie's Heirloom Sewing on Facebook, which I will also link down below. If you just need any help with this, let me know. We're all here to help each other, and I hope you have a fabulous, wonderful day.